Welcome to St John's for our weekly update. Behind me you'll see the Cows Ministry at work. Cows Coffee on Wednesdays is a fantastic way to join with other members of the community in a COVID-safe way, to enjoy the ambience of the cathedral and to welcome people into the life of the building and the community. Today we've had a couple of people who came in just to have a look at the building and found themselves sitting with a cup of coffee and enjoying good company. So if you haven't had a chance to join the Cows team, please do think about coming along one Wednesday. And everything we do here, of course, is operating under the COVID plan, and so is COVID safe. Another ministry that is returning to the life of the cathedral is the Tuesday evening meditation group. The group meets in the cathedral and by Zoom from 6:45 and meditates until 7:30. Before the meeting there is a COVID-safe meal offered as well. That's offered from 5:30, and quite a number of people are now availing themselves of that meal, as it's a great way to build community, and we really do need to be looking at ways of building community as this COVID-19 experience drags on. One of the things we've been hoping and longing for some time now is to restore morning tea on Sunday morning. The rules around COVID, the COVID regulations have changed in the last couple of days, which means we can now stand to eat and drink. Before we were required to sit, and to sit 1.5 metres apart, so that made having morning tea together rather problematic. So on the 25th of October, which is our feast of dedication, the day we celebrate the dedication of this fantastic building and also our consecration 11 years ago, we're going to experiment with having morning tea after the 7:30 and 9:30 services. We're going to have morning tea outside, which will be one of the things we're experimenting with, and that's because we actually need to empty the building after each service in order to disinfect the chairs. The other challenge we're going to face with the reintroduction of morning tea is that we require far more people to help with the serving of morning tea. Under the COVID plan, people have to have their tea or coffee served for them. They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves to food. And so we believe we're going to need at least 3 people per session. And all of those people need to have done the COVID safe food handling certificate. That certificate is offered online. It's free. It's easy to attain. It's offered by the Queensland TAFE. And so you'll find a link to that website on the screen as I speak, and we're encouraging as many people as possible to do that certificate so that we can develop a sustained approach to offering morning tea. So we'll offer morning tea on October the 25th, then we can assess how that went. We'll look at how many people we have to assist and hopefully be able to ramp up the offering of morning tea, hopefully to the point where we can get it on a weekly basis. The other opportunity we have to become more involved in the life of the cathedral centres around the 5 o'clock Eucharist on a Saturday. That Eucharist started a few weeks ago and is attracting a wonderful bunch of people who are enjoying that as their weekly act of worship. There's the opportunity now for people to offer to be stewards for that service. The stewards are responsible for making sure people have either registered or capturing their details as they arrive, to offer the gift of hospitality to make people feel welcome, and to just do some nuts and bolts stuff around making sure the service happens. We're also looking for people who might be willing to go on a roster to be a reader or an intercessor. And while we're talking about the Ministry of Stewards, I'd like to pay special tribute to the way the stewards have responded to the COVID-19 experience. The COVID regulations mean that there are a few more requirements being placed on the stewards, and that they are the people who have to sign people in, register details and the like. That means we actually need a few more stewards on duty than we've needed previously. So I thank the current team of stewards for stepping up to the new task, but also put out the plea for people in the community who might like to become stewards. We have a particular need at Evensong on a Sunday. In the past, Evensong was looked after by one steward only, but now we need at least two. So if you're interested in helping us to build community by making people feel welcome, please be in touch and we can have a conversation with you, or you can have a conversation with Chris Goulet, our head steward, about what the ministry entails. The diocesan magazine Focus is now an online publication, which actually makes it more dynamic. It means that content is uploaded more frequently, and so the news in that sense is more up to date. Focus currently giving away iPads as a prize for people who take up the offer to receive their regular email. And so if you're not in receipt of the regular Focus email, now's a great time to give your details to the Focus team so that you can get that email and go in the running to win one of 2 iPads that are on offer. And while we're talking about Focus, one of the things they offer is a weekly devotion, a Sunday devotion that looks at the readings for the Sunday and gives us the opportunity to reflect. This Sunday's weekly reflection, the reflection for October the 11th, was written by Dr. Robin Ray, a member of the Cathedral community. It's an excellent reflection, so I commend that to you. And if you're not in the habit yet of looking at those Sunday reflections, this Sunday is a great opportunity to start. So I commend to you Robin's reflection for this Sunday. You'll find details of how to find it on the screen as I speak. For Day by Day is a small set of reflections that covers a period of 3 months. It gives a reflection for each day of the week and invites us to develop the habit of doing theological reflection on a regular basis, a daily basis. The edition of For Day by Day that begins in November has arrived and is available. Costs $5. If you want us to post you a copy, it will cost you about $7 to cover postage, as well as the cost of the publication. Otherwise, copies are available in the cathedral. So if you visit for a time of private prayer or for worship, you'll find For Day by Day for November through to the end of January available this Sunday. This month's outreach through offerings is Care Australia. Care Australia has a particular focus on overcoming poverty and enabling women and girls. So it spends a lot of its focus on overcoming domestic violence and gender-based violence and sexual discrimination. Overcoming gender-based violence and sexual discrimination is something that is really important to us as a cathedral community, and so Care Australia fits with our values and principles, and so I commend to you that monthly outreach for the month of October. And so to birthdays. In this coming week we celebrate with Marika Bosma of our community and say happy birthday to John Lonnie, who no longer lives in Brisbane but we still regard as one of our own, and he often joins us at a distance by YouTube. So happy birthday to John and Marika. And finally, thank you as always for the encouragement you offer to us. The clergy team often remark on how encouraged we feel by the members of the community as we seek to offer leadership during this COVID experience. We appreciate the financial support that's being offered and do commend to you the reflections that are appearing in the weekly notices as we approach our Stewardship Sunday on October the 25th. Of course, this year we face particular challenges as COVID-19 affects the income of the cathedral in various ways. But offertory from the community is strong and sustaining us, so we're grateful for that, and we're grateful for your prayers and for the care that you take of one another. Peace be with you.